Hello, welcome to this virtual lesson on weather and wind today for second graders. My name is Mr. Taylor and I'm going to be moderating the chat box. So we will be asking you some questions, maybe just a yes or no. You can put a Y or an N, or if you have a question for us. So I'll be behind the scenes moderating the chat box, and let me introduce you now to the instructor, Mr. Kyle Rollins.
Hey boys and girls, and welcome to Roper Mountain Science Center e-learning lab. So we're so glad to have you with us today, and we're going to learn a little bit about wind. And the cool thing about wind is that you can't see it, it's invisible. But you can see the effects that wind has on objects. So that's what we're going to be doing today. The first thing I would like to start off with, though, is a cool object known as an air Zooka. And this air Zooka has this is the back part. It has this plastic, and it has this little handle on the inside here, and this is the front part. And when you pull back on this, it actually pushes air out of this opening right here. And when that air is moving, we call it wind. All right? So let's see if we can see the effects that this air Zooka has on some of these objects on the table. So I have some cups right here, some just plastic cups. And I'm going to stand right here, and we're going to see what happens when I point the air Zooka, pull back, and let wind hit the cups. All right? 1, 2, 3. Alright, so you couldn't see the wind coming out. Let me see if I can knock these others off. But you could see the effects that the wind had on those objects. Let's try one more. These are some cans, and we will try the cans and see if what happens with the cans. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, let's see if we can hit the bottom ones. And you're going to try the last one. So that was pretty neat at how the air Zooka works. So back here, we want to take a look at a weather tool that I have. Who knows what this weather tool is called? Anybody?
We're waiting on an answer. Somebody said a windsock.
That is correct. So I'm holding up a windsock, and you can find windsocks at Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot, or you could even make your own out of a sheet or a pillowcase or even a plastic bag. So a way a windsock works is you hang it up, and it basically will move if the wind is blowing outside. Okay? And you can see it's not really moving in here because there's no wind. But if I shake this, I can move it around. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to this fan, and this fan can generate wind. And I would like for you to make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen to the windsock when I turn on the fan? Do you think it's going to go up and down? Do you think it's going to go round and around? Or do you think it's going to go this way, the direction of the wind? Or is it going to be sucked back into the fan? Think about that just for a second and make a prediction. All right, we're going to go ahead and turn the fan on. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what happens to the windsock. Wow! So that wind is coming through, going through the windsock, making little tassels on the back, jump around, and it is spinning a little bit. Let's see what happens when I cut it off. What happens to the windsock when the air stops? So it stopped moving, didn't it? But that's how a windsock works. The next object that I have, or weather tool, is this contraption. Now I've taken it apart so you can see, and I want you to hear, listen carefully. What is it made out of? It's made out of metal, right? And it actually has this point right up here. And that's not to poke you. It's actually so that this part can fit over that, and it allows it to spin. Okay? So this, does anybody know what this weather tool is called? It has these letters. It has an N, an S, a W, and an E.
Let's see, somebody said a compass.
Okay.
And then somebody said a wind vane.
So this is actually a wind vane, or if you said weather vane, it could be called a weather vane. And this is normally on top of houses or barns or tall buildings. And this flap down here, somebody asked me yesterday, said, Mr. Rollins, what do these flaps do? And it allows you to place the wind vane on top of the roof, and you can anchor it with either screwing it or nailing it down onto the roof. Okay? But this is how it works. It has this arrow, and the arrow points in the direction that the wind is coming from. So just remember that. So if the arrow is pointing to the E, what direction is that, boys and girls? East. That's right. So that's east. If it was pointing to the W, that's what direction?
West, someone said.
West, that is correct. And what about if it was pointing to the S?
We got a south.
South, that is correct. And if it was pointing back to the N, what direction is that?
Someone said north.
That is correct. So we have north, south, east, and west. And a teacher told me there's a cool little saying that will help you remember these different directions. And never eat soggy waffles. So maybe you can remember north, south, east, and west by never eat soggy waffles. All right. The other question that I was asked, why is this in the shape of a boat? Well, it doesn't matter. This icon can be anything. It can be a bird. It can be a car. It can be anything. This just happens to be a boat. But the most important part is see how flat it is? It's very thin. Very thin. And that's to allow the wind to catch it. Okay? And to turn the arrow. So just remember that. Okay? So wind vane or weather vane. The next thing I would like to do is introduce you to some sail cars. Now sail cars, this is like a sailboat, but it actually is a car because it has wheels. So S-A-I-L, sail cars. And I have one here that doesn't have a sail. And you might even can make something like this at home by using materials that you have at your house, like cardboard, construction paper, toothpicks, buttons. Okay? So this one doesn't have a sail. We've got another one that has a small sail. Pretty neat. And then we have one that has a larger sail. And let me show these to compare. Small sail, larger sail. And then the no sail. What we're going to do is we're going to come back here and we're going to place each one of these in front of the fan to see if the wind will move them. So we're going to start with the one that doesn't have a sail. Let's move back here. I'm going to turn on the fan. Let's make a quick prediction. How many of you think that the sail car without the sail is going to make it to the end of the table? All right. See if
I'm getting a no.
All right.
Most people say no.
So 1, 2, 3. I don't see any movement. Now I do want to show you one thing. We'll take the windsock just to let you know that there is wind blowing. Let me put the windsock in front. And you can see that there is wind blowing because the windsock is moving. But it's not moving that sail car. Turn this off. Let's take the smaller sail car, put it right there, this over here. Let's see if it gets blown to the end of the table. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it did get blown to the end of the table with the small sail. Let's try the sail car with the larger sail. 1, 2, 3. That kind of went faster, so fast that it pushed it off the end of the table. Now I'm wondering, let's try another test here. Let's set these side by side in front of the fan and see which one will go faster. So we'll say A is the larger sail car and B is the smaller sail car.
Boys and girls, let us know which one you think will go faster. A with the bigger sail or B with the smaller sail. Let's see what's your prediction.
Right.
Oh, I'm getting mostly A's, some B's.
Let's see what happens. So that one with the larger sail went faster.
Most of you are right, boys and girls.
So take a look at this. Why do you think the larger sail went faster than the smaller sail? Why do you think it went faster?
Someone said it's bigger.
Okay. Well, and that's actually on the right track. This larger sail has more surface area to catch the wind. This smaller sail doesn't have as much surface area, so even though it does get pushed, it's not as fast. All right, so good job. That was excellent. So I wanted to go back because I love the Air Zooka. I wanted to go back and try something on the table. Let me see. Oh, a little. I'm sure all of you have plastic bags at your house. This could be used as a great windsock. But I'm going to sit it on the table there. And I'm going to aim the Air Zooka at it and see if we can get it to move by the wind. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that went right off the table, didn't it? Let's try something else. How about this pile of pipe cleaners or Chanel sticks? Let's See if the wind has any effect on them, like it did the plastic bag. 1, 2, 3. A little bit. Let me see if I can do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it did knock them off. What about something a little bit heavier, like a box of straws? Let's see if the air Zooka will make it move. No, it moved just a little bit. It rocked back and forth, but it didn't really move it forward. No. How about if we turn on the fan? Let's turn this fan on and see if we can get it to move with the fan. It's not moving. Just to let you know that the fan is on, let's put this cup up here. And it blew the cup off the table, but the fan is not strong enough to blow the box of...
They said it's too heavy, Mr. Allens.
That's right, so it would be too heavy. Well, boys and girls, thank you so much. I had a lot of fun showing you a little bit about wind. What are some other things that are blown in the wind? Yesterday was the first day of fall.
Somebody has trees or leaves.
Okay, trees.
Kite.
Leaves.
Flag.
Kites.
Sailboat.
That's right. So all those things. See if you can go outside today and see if you can witness something being blown by the wind. All right. Well, boys and girls, I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Taylor. Thank you so very much. And hopefully in the near future, you'll be here at Roper Mountain Science Center. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Thanks again for joining us. We're going to ask that you log off or leave the virtual lesson now, since we have other lessons coming up. Thanks again.